What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the WARFRAME video. So, you read the title. Today, we're going over how to max out your Vent Kids rep daily, basically as quick as possible, because the new Yareli frame will most likely come from the Vent Kids as a thing you can buy with rep for parts. Now, this is all speculation currently. It's not been verified by DE, but even if Yareli doesn't end up coming from here, there's quite a few mods that you might want to pick up if you enjoy K-driving, or if you want to get some extra platinum, maxing out all your syndicates per day. This technically is a syndicate, and not a lot of people do farm this stuff out, so maybe you could get some platinum by selling these mods to somebody. Or, maybe just get the mastery, because if you didn't know this, these K-drive boards, the boards themselves, will give you mastery points. There's even one from Deimos that will come from specific races, but you only need the board, of course. Alright, so let's go over it. There's two methods you can go for maxing out your K-Drive rep. And keep in mind that this is going to be the first in a decently long line of videos about how to prepare for the new update. The Sister of Parvos, coming out probably the end of June or early July is my prediction. But it will definitely be after the 16th of June, which is when we're getting the gun nerfs and weapon, or gun buffs and weapon melee weapon nerf patch notes. Alright, so there's two methods here. I'm going to first show you the one that most people might know, because this K-Drive stuff's been around for a while. And a lot of people remember doing tricks on the pipe next to Fortuna. So there's a couple spots you can do this at. And here's going to be the board I'm going to show you. I've had this board for a long time. So we're going to have a racing build for doing races, where it's basically this focus on speed. And we've also got the trick build for focusing on doing tricks. If you have the Primo Flare mod, this technically will help you. Also, inertia dampeners is another mod that will help you. This will give you a trick multiplier increase on your trick score. Make getting to the top score of tricks faster, which, by the way, the maximum trick score you can get from doing a trick chain is it's 3,000. But with Primo Flare, it becomes 6,000. So there's multiple spots you can do trick chaining, and the one we'll show you is the one that a lot of people have done on this pipe next to Fortuna. You want to jump on here, basically do some flips, do some board grabs, or whatever they're called, and just keep doing tricks, grinding back and forth on this pipe. Once you get to the end of it, jump up in the air, flip back, and jump back onto the pipe, and wait until you get to up to the 3,000 point multiplier. If you have Primo Flare, it will be a 6,000 point multiplier. And don't jump that way, because you might run into the wall and mess up your trick like there. So with about half the score of a 3,000 point trick, I had about 450 rep. So this actually will be the slower way of doing it. We will show the faster method here in a second. But with a full 6,000, you'll be getting about 1,500 rep. With no Primo Flare mod, you'll be getting about 800, 900 rep from doing a trick chain here. So you jump off once you feel like you've done adequate enough tricks, and there you go. You can just do this over and over again and get up to if you're MR31, or MR30 rather, it's 31,000 rep for the maxed out syndicate for that day. A lot of the mods cost 20,000 rep, so you can ideally get a mod in let's say this takes about a minute and a half. I got about 6,000 score right there. So 6,000 score, it was about 1,500 rep, and we did that in about a minute and a half. So that's pretty decent. It's a little bit more tedious to do this. But yeah, you can do that spot rather on the pipe. You can also go outside onto, there's a location called the Pearl on the left side of Fortuna that you might find interesting as well. I have not really found any good trick spots on Deimos or on the Plains of Eidolon for doing a bunch of trick stuff. You can also use rail guards to grind faster on the pipe. There's also one that gives you increased grinding magnetism, but I actually found that to be a bad thing. So I think it's called, not perfect, but perfect balance is potentially pretty useful as well. Yeah, mag locks. I didn't really find this one super important, but you keep in mind, if you are running the skin for the K-drives, this Velocipod skin, I would not recommend doing that and equipping this if you are doing a trick chain, because this can mess up your grinding. I have no idea why it does, but I guess it actually changes the physical grinding hitboxes on your K-drive. This was messing up my trick combos a lot, so I would not recommend equipping this. Just have the normal K-drive skin, and the scroll does not matter. This just basically shows you you'll get a little picture to pop up when you do your tricks. So whichever one you have, go for it. Whatever one you think looks the coolest. Okay, so that was the trick chaining method. Like I said, there's other locations in the game, like the Pearl on Fortuna is a good one to do as well. Here's the racing setup. And now keep in mind, you can do this all with 0 mods at all. But if you do have perfect balance, this is basically a prime sure-footed for your K-Drive. If you max it out, it's still not 100%, but it's something you could consider. Keep in mind, this is a rank 10 mod, so it's going to be a big waste of endo if you do end up messing with this to rank it up. I would not recommend running the double jump height mod. Personally, I find them like really disorienting. But the other method is doing races. Now, whatever race you can find is the one you should do. So how you find races is you go out into the open world, get on your K-Drive, and then hold the map button. When you have the map, when you're on your K-Drive and push the map button, the races will appear as little purple icons. If you do not have the K-Drive out, you will not see the races. So go over there. You can talk to the little vent rat thing, and then he will start the race. You cannot talk to the vent kid while you are on your K-Drive. So you have to get off your K-Drive and then jump back on. Now, this is where the fun part begins. And this is raw gameplay here of me doing a K-Drive race. This is when I had to take the double jump height mod off for sure. Go through these little yellow circle things, and you can do tricks while you're in there. While you're doing tricks and like completing the race, the payout for these races is about usually 2,000 to 4,500 rep per race. So you're going to do about 6 races, and you will be maxed out on your Vent Kid rep for that day. These races really don't take much time at all. Once you get like the groove of things, you could probably beat it in like a minute, maybe quicker than a minute. So 6 minutes, maxed out Vent Kid rep. There you go. So if your rally will probably cost like 20,000 rep per part or 50,000 rep per part or something like that. So we'll see how long that takes. She might be time gated. You might need to do this a couple days in a row. But yeah, I would actively recommend this farm, the race farm, over the trick farm. The trick farm was the old meta. They made it where the races are the way to do it. But here, so I'm gonna try to take this race a little bit slower. We did fail right there because running into anything is gonna knock you on your 10-0 butt. So just get through these circles. You can technically, if you're like really like good at the K-Drive, you can grind while you're on this, because like doing tricks during the race also will give you more rep as well. So yeah, it's actually, this is the best way to do it. I think it was about 4,500 rep from doing this. So you get to the end of the race, complete the race, get your payout of rep, then jump on your Arcwing and fly back to the beginning of the race, do it over and over again. As far as which races to do, I'd say just pick whatever one is closest to the Fortuna door, honestly. I have not really thoroughly gone over every race in the game here, but this one that I was doing right here, and here's the thing. The races actually rotate per day. So whatever race is available on the day I'm doing this, like this race right here, this race might not be available on the day you're trying to grind out K-Drive rep. They're right there. 4,500, and then we got 3,850 from doing that race. That's more than like 2 full trick chains. So it's honestly going to be up to you, whichever one you want to suffer through. But I can tell you for a fact that race felt much more efficient once I actually got it down to just doing a real quick situation. And you know what? Since we're here, I'm going to do a K-Drive race live in the video. Let's see how terrible it is. And yeah, you can also run the Magus Drive Arcane for your operator to have increased K-Drive speed. Not that any sane person should actually do that, but you see what I'm going for here. Alright, so we're going to go onto the open world, hopefully not in the steel path, and we will find the first K-Drive race I see. We will attempt that, and I've probably never done the K-Drive race. So this is just to show you, it's not very hard, it just, I don't play this game for K-Drives. This isn't Tony Hawk Underground 2. That game was sweet. Alright, on the K-Drive, hold the map button, looking for K-Drive races. There's 2 over there, and there's 1 over there. I'm going to go for that one right there, right next to Temple Fabrication. Put the waypoint on your map, fly over, because K-Drives are much slower than Arcwing. And let's see how terrible it is. What's the worst that could happen? Alright, it's over here. There's the vent rat. Okay, we're going to go into a cave for this race. Alright, let's see how much rep we get from this one. Alright, that's usually how it goes when I get on a K-Drive. Alright, so this one seems pretty chill. You're just going through a cave. Try not to fall into the water. Alright, this is not too bad. You technically can cheese these with Arcwing, but you only get like 100 rep for choosing it with Arcwing, so it's not really worth it. Going through these gives you more and more rep. So, last one. So 3,500, we got 2,900 rep for doing that 1 minute race. So if we just did that like 10 times or whatever, or like, yeah, basically 10 times, that's our maxed out rep for the day. Of course, we could have been doing tricks while we're in there to get some extra points, but, you know, that's kind of lame. Although it is something you technically can do. So, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you just want to pretend your rally doesn't exist, like a lot of people will, that's also an option. Yeah, we'll have lots of videos about the new update, how to prepare for it, coming on these next couple of days. Hopefully you found this helpful, guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.